its intersection here with that orbital crest. Okay? 1 centimeter of that fusion line and one back down into the fossa and one back to the crest here is Arthur Swift's technique to inject this superior medial 1 centimeter squared. The rationale for this is that on the bone here, there's no artery running on the bone, and therefore it is relatively safe. However, I always talk about aspirating, and I think this is something very valid, but it's a little bit controversial. I always aspirate whenever I'm in any area where there's any potential. Look how I'm perpendicular here, Juliana. I go all the way down to the bone. I touch the bone here, and then look, everybody. When you're doing aspiration, you have to make a bubble. And you have to hold this for at least 3 seconds. Some people say 30, but at least 3 for me. If there's no blood, you're safe to inject. And what's going to happen now is that the product is going to hydrodissect underneath the temporalis muscle, deep temporal fascia. And it can't go upwards because it's being blocked by the ligament here. And the retaining ligament, as you age, is falling down medially. If you inject medial to the ligament, you force the ligament backwards and you generate midfacial lifting. If you inject a descending ligament laterally, you push it down further. So you make widening, but you don't give any lifting. So this is a really important detail. So I feel for the ligament and the notch. I'll show you this with my needle. With the female patient, I inject on the upper eminence of the zygomatic arch. With the male patient, I inject onto the perpendicular eminence. Simple. So, we demarcate the inferior border of the zygoma. I pull back the ligament. I go slightly medial to the notch, onto the bone, and then we inject. Now watch this, what I'm going to do. I'm going to retain the product on the inferior surface of the zygoma, because I want to give Claudio a cheekbones. If you look at most male models, or I'm looking at Andre Braz, he's a very handsome man. He has a spectacular cheekbones. So this is essential in a male treatment, but don't load the medial cheek. So look here what I'm doing. I'm projecting him laterally. Then after I've done this, I'm going to mold against that ligament. Look what I'm doing here. I squeeze this voluma against the ligament and pull him back. And in doing this, I'm forcing that ligament to rotate laterally. Therefore, I'm generating lifting. And the other thing is now, I do a high definition molding. You can do this in females, but also I love doing this in the male patient because it makes them look very striking, defined, and masculine, very strong. So what I do here is, I take my index finger, I put it against the inferior border of the zygoma, and then I will mold against my finger. Look, see, I'm pressing it against my finger so I can create a good definition in the zygoma. Okay, let's take a look at what happened to his cheeks. Look in the camera, please. Do you all see how handsome? I want to calculate this for the male patient. Take the lateral campus and its intersection of the lower alar tragus line. If you want to do for female patient, take the lateral eyebrow and intersect upper alar tragus line. So for the male patient, it's right here, and look how this really neatly corresponds with the zygomatic retaining ligament. But don't inject lateral to the ligament because it may make the male amount worse. I pull the ligament backwards. I'm going to go medial to the ligament, and we're going to go to the bone, to the maxilla. And when I'm on the bone here, then I make an injection. Typically, for a male, I'm looking at around 0.3 cc. Hey, think about this, everyone. When you're treating a male patient, don't think that they're going to be more expensive because their structure should be stronger. Therefore, you're going to use more product for structural correction. So always do this in the consultation with a male to make sure that they don't have any kind of unrealistic expectation about cost. So, okay, 0.3 cc. So again, look, the molding laterally and upwards. So I'm pushing that zygomatic retaining ligament upwards, and also now I do high definition molding here in the cheekbone. So subzygomatic and submaxillary definition. Force that material against the upper border of your index finger. Okay. Now let's take a look here at the AP view. Now, do you see how? So buccal maxillary ligament facial artery, safe injection point. You see they're very close together. Pull the ligament backwards, go medial to the ligament, and you've got to touch the bone. I'm sorry, my friend. So look here now. We're going to give a nice big aspiration, big bubble. Hold for 3 seconds, because you can have a little alar branch of the facial artery there, and then we're going to inject him with typically no more than 0.3 cc. Now the objective of this is to try and evert the lip, but also to narrow the nose, because that nose should be the same width as the intercanthal distance, and we know that it's a little bit wide. And if we have a look now and see what the result is like, I just force that underneath the peripheral, and look what happens here. Look how I make his nostril narrow. Can you all see this?
Yeah.
And also, has a sausage with prominent fat compartment alar fossa. Look here. It's completely jar sulcus to the bone, inject. The objective here is to make his mouth look happier. As we age, we start to look more sad. So I inject medial to the mandibular retaining ligament. Now, the next injection, look, see, the lateral, we're going to go to the bone, all the way down through the muscle to muscle, and make sure you touch that periosteum. Make a nice projection here, and typically it will be around 0.3 cc for a male, because we want to make him more defined here, you know. For the female, remember, 94 to 100 degrees. For the male patient, I'm looking at about 90 to 94 degrees.